Hello and welcome to my latest video. So you may remember a little while back I posted a video which pondered the question, what do I do to display my first 12 vintage Star Wars figures? Well, the overriding decision that was made was, after polling people on Facebook and asking some of the specialist groups how do people display their early figures, the overriding answer was get yourself one of those original 1978 mail away display bases. So that's exactly what I have done, and that's what we're going to be having a look at today. So I've got one of those. We're going to have a look at it. It needs a damn good clean, and then we'll go through the whole process, but eventually the whole thing will be displayed with the figures and it's going to look damn good. So anyway, that's the subject of today's video. So sit back, relax, and let's get to it. Okay then, so this is the original display base that I've been able to source, and I'm showing you it now because it's definitely not in the greatest of conditions. It's not mint by any means, it's not in its original box or anything like that, but it's absolutely fine for what I need it for. But what I thought I'd do, I would show you a bit of a before and after. I've given it a bit of a clean up. So I'm not sure if you're going to be able to really pick this up on video, but the actual, I think this has never been touched since, back in the day. And you've got to bear in mind, this is now over 40 years old, this hunk of plastic. So, but I don't know if you've ever seen one of these before, but there's three sort of control knobs here, which are linked underneath, cogwheel style, to the bases on the front. And as you'll see, they all work absolutely fine. And once I've got my figures on there, they're going to be in just one set position. But the actual surface here, there's a bit of like tape or glue residue. There's certainly dirt and fingerprints. There's a tiny bit of scratching, but nothing to worry about. The worst thing which is on this that I'm not going to be able to fix is this sort of like aging of the plastic in that corner there. The actual stickers along the front, as you can see there, the Princess Leia, around the Princess Leia and Chewbacca, that's sort of worn, and there's like a split down there. The rest of them aren't too bad. So, and then underneath, you've got this bit of tape with something underneath it there, and it's very, very dusty. It's just been stored in someone's collection for a long, long time. Probably the original owner had one from back in the day, and it's just got itself a bit old and worn and dirty. But good news is it's an easy fix, and for what I need it for, I'm not looking for pristine mint. I'm just going to be using it as a display base for my figures. So what I have done then, I've jumped onto eBay and I've sourced a replacement set of stickers. Now they're in two parts, so I shall be able, you can see the original ones are quite yellowed. The actual white is quite yellowed. That's a brand new fresh set. So I'm gonna take off that when I do the cleaning, and when it's all clean and done properly, I'm going to pop these new stickers on. And also I've bought a different backdrop to the one that came with it. So the one that came with it had sort of a space scene, which I wasn't that fussed about. This one here has got the Tatooine scene, which I really, really like. And I think that's going to look really nice once the actual set has been cleaned up. And then my intention is to get another one of these, and I'm going to use it for figures 13 to 21. So like the Cantina aliens, because the chap I bought this one off, he does custom backdrops for this display stand for all the different sort of films, and he's got multiple ones for each one. And he does do a Cantina bar scene backdrop, which will be perfect for those Cantina alien figures. Obviously, because I've got lots of doubles to go on this one, this is going to be quite a packed base. Whereas on the Cantina aliens, I've got a couple of extra snaggletooths. I don't think I've got any other doubles or variants to go in there, so it will look a bit more balanced. But anyway, that is the plan. So it's going to take a bit of time to do this, so I'm not going to film it all, but we'll do a little comparison in just a moment and see how it came out. Okay then, so I've now gone and cleaned the base as best I can, and it's certainly a lot better than it was. It really is. As you can see, the underneath there is much cleaner. The tape's gone. There's still a few marks, but to be honest, when this is full of figures, you're not really going to see it anyway. And it is still the official base, and it's going to be great to actually display my original first 12 on, plus all the variants. So as you can see, I've taken off that initial the nameplate stickers because it was worn and they were cracked and they're in a right old state. Now, I've not been able to completely get rid of all the signs of the glue. I've tried absolutely everything that I can think of, and I've not been able to get completely shot of it. But it will act as a bit of a guide for when I put on the replacement stickers, which are these ones here. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So wish me luck. Yes, I think that'll do quite nicely. That's okay. It's certainly a lot better than what was there, which was all sort of creased up and rippled, and that it certainly wasn't looking great. So that's that bit done, and that was the bit I was most sort of worried about, really. And I think I'm pretty pleased with that, because when that's on the shelf with the figures, no one's going to be seeing that at all, are they? Now, this next bit, this is the cardboard here. Now, from what I can see, this sort of interweaves in and out here. So I'm going to sort of feed it in on this side. Sort of in and out. And let's see how easy it is. I don't want to force it too much again. I think that's all in the position correctly, and then there we are. I think that's all the way in perfectly there. And there we are. That looks all right, doesn't it? So awesome. Well, that's all well and good, but the next step, of course, is we want to get some figures on it. So let's go and get my figures out. Right then, well, I cannot tell you how long it's taken to get from the initial idea of having this display stand up to the point where we're actually able to now start to get some figures on it. Now, we've got these little levers here, so we'll have to, because I want them all facing correctly out. And what I thought I would do, where I've got like more than one of a particular figure, the one I'm going to put in the actual official bit of the stand is going to be the original release. So we've got the Jawa first of all here. So this was the first release Jawa, wasn't it? The plastic cape. So that's the one I'm going to stick in there like that. Let's pop his gun back on like so. And then behind it, we're going to be putting in the Stormtrooper. So this is one of the Death Star bases. So we'll leave those at the front because I'm going to be able to reuse those with my figures that are still in my display case. Let's get the Stormtrooper in situ now. Now, obviously, as I said in my last video with these, some of these are going to need a bit of an upgrade. But that's absolutely fine because I don't mind swapping and changing a few figures now and again, get them into a better quality. Now that's the Stormtrooper. He seems fairly sturdy and in place. Now, I guess as a kid, what you could do, you could turn these, you see. But as I said, I would rather them be in the middle facing forward like that. So that's the Stormtrooper. The next one is one of my absolute all-time favourites. That's the Death Squad Commander. I absolutely love this chap. Now, I'm going to put him in, but he's got to go in at ever such a slight angle so that he's still facing forward. But already they do look blooming great, don't they? But there you go. So he's in like that. And then we've got the original C-3PO figure. He is going to go, I think I'll put him like that particular one. Nice stiff C-3PO there. And that's the first 4 in place, and they do look really nice, don't they? So now we've got the Darth Vader. Now I'm going to have him with his lightsaber poking out a little bit. Now I want this to be in the middle so that they're sort of facing as straight as possible, ideally. So let's pop Darth in there. Now that does seem, no, he's okay, yeah, Darth's all right. And then Ben Kenobi is in front of him, so which Ben Kenobi shall I pop in front? I suppose this one's absolutely fine, along with the white hair rather than the grey hair. But he's going to need to go on the left one so he doesn't cover too much of Darth. So there we are, that's like the first 6 in place. Let's, what I'll do, I'm just going to move the camera over a little bit, so I just pause it there. Okay, so the next one then at the back is the Tusken Raider. So let's put his weapon in there. So you hold it okay, gaffy stick. He's going to hold that. No, he's not. So he's in situ there. I just need him to hold his weapon. Okay. And then we'll put a Luke Skywalker in front of him. So which one? I've got the like the olive hair or the blonde haired one. Well, I don't think it really matters because I'm going to put them both in there anyway eventually. So I'm going to put him like so. Nice Luke. Pop him in the front. Excellent. Looking really nice, these. Put the other Luke over there. Next we got Chewie. So he goes at the back. That makes sense because he is one of the taller characters. And let's put the thing in the front again. So we'll put Chewie that way around. Like so. Oh man, he's dropping his gun. They're all dropping their guns as I'm putting them into the display stand. And I must thank the members of Echo Base. A few of them came forward offering me display stands, and this was the one I settled on in the end. Although it wasn't perfect, as you see, I've had to give it a really good clean in that. It was absolutely fine for the purposes of displaying these figures, so that's all that was really mattered. On there then, so we've got Han Solo, so I want to put the one on with the small head Han rather than the big head. Now this one's an absolute swine for holding his weapon. He just doesn't like to hold it, so I might need to go back and blue tack that one in at some point. But we'll stick him in for now, in there. That's the original small head Han. Then we've got Princess Leia at the back. I remember as a kid losing Princess Leia's gun once, and on the black tarmac in front of our house, and literally spending about an hour until I found it again. That's a true story. There's the Leia, and then little R2 goes on the front, so he hardly needs a thing really, does he? But we're going to put him in the peg anyway. Right, so if you were back in the day, that is what the original sort of run would have looked like. And I will pull out a little bit more in a minute. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill in now. I've got another 5 figures to go on, which are like some of my variants and doubles. So we might as well get them on now. And I'm going to put these on the Death Star stands that I've got. So if I start from the left hand side, so I'll just get the camera in there. Right, so I've got another Jawa, and this is the cloth cape version. Now I've just popped him on one of my little small original Death Star bases, because I've got a few spares of those, and he is just going to go in there. That's the plan anyway. And then the next double I've got is actually of the Death Squad Commander, and this isn't any sort of variant. I've just got him because I love the figure so much. I've got 2 of them, so I want to just pop him next to the Death Squad Commander at the back there. So let's get him firmly on his stand there, his Death Star stand, and then he should stand on this one absolutely perfectly. So if I pop him there like so, that should be all right. And then I've got another Ben Kenobi, but I've also got another Ben and Han. So let's think about it. I'll put the other Luke down the back there, and I'll put the other Ben right in front. So let's get this Ben Kenobi on a stand as well. Oh, drop that one. Let's put this one on. I want to make sure they're really firmly attached, and he's not there. So it may be that this one's been on a stand before. There we are. Right. It's almost like chess pieces, isn't it? So that's that Ben Kenobi on, like so. And then we've got Luke. So we've got another Luke to get on. This is the Luke with the really bright yellowy hair, blonde haired Luke. Let's just put him on. Yeah, he seems, that goes on nice and snug. Now this Luke's going to go on around the back there. Put that Luke on there like so. That looks good, and that just leaves large head Han now. So we've got old large head Han here. Once again, they're little swines for holding on to their weapons, these Han Solo figures. Stick him on his base, and he is going to go right there, and that is it. And boy, that looks pretty darn good, doesn't it? So let me pause there and pull the camera out, and let's have a proper look at it. So there they are at last, my collection of the first 12 ever vintage Star Wars action figures, plus some of my doubles and variants, and they sure do look good on that base, don't they, with that really nice Tatooine backdrop. So the next batch of these that I'm going to do is going to be, I'm going to try and track down yet another base, and I'm going to do it for the next batch, so 13 to 21 basically, and I've got a few doubles as well in there. I've got a couple of Boba Fett's, I've got a couple of Snaggletooth, for example, so there'll be a few extras to go in there as well, so that'll make quite a nice little run. And I'm going to choose a different backdrop. I've got a backdrop in mind which is cantina scenes, so I shall use that one. So that's going to be a future project coming up soon. Unfortunately, at the time of filming, GW Acrylic were actually out of the case that they design, which fits those figures perfectly. So I'm going to keep these nice and safe, and that particular display case is due back in stock in a few weeks' time. As soon as he's got them in, I'm going to order one, and I shall do one more short little segment at the end of another one of my display videos, and I'll show you this one going into a GW acrylic case, because I think that will really finish it off. But in the meantime, that is, I think, absolutely awesome, and I flipping love it. Anyway, there we are. So that is going to be today's video. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, do please give the video a thumbs up. Do consider subscribing for regular vintage Star Wars content. And I shall look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.